go with is I have depression. I think that's something that I definitely dealt with is depression. And,
yeah.
I've been self-diagnosed with bipolar. Just because shit is a whack.
Yeah, he's just a Gemini.
Well,
Are you an actual Gemini?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, that makes sense.
Like a real one, girl.
That makes sense.
It's bred in me. But so I think one thing with depression is a very important side of that is self-care.
Right.
So what's something that what does self-care mean to you?
Self-care, I guess, like actually medicating by itself is actually like a form of self-care. So being sure that I make sure that I take my medications at the right times, being sure to take my sleeping medication at nighttime, because that's another thing that I always suffered from was insomnia since I was like 12.
Yeah.
And all of my doctors have pretty much said if you don't sleep, that messes with you too. So I have to make sure I get that sleep in.
Yeah.
And so taking my sleeping medication helps. There's also just being able to talk to somebody. I know I personally have a problem with not wanting to talk about all of my problems just because it feels like I'm being a burden to other people, which I think a lot of people deal with that feeling. They're already like, oh, they already have so much on their plate. Why throw myself onto that as well? And but my best friends have always been kind of like they've always been there, and they've always been like, hey, if you need to talk or if you need to just text me, just go ahead and do that, and I'll send funny gifts your way and things like that. So, yeah.
I think it's super important to I'm so happy that you said it too, taking your medication at certain times, because I think a lot of people think it's just you take them recreation, no,
you have to
because when you wake up sometimes where you are chemically might be different all the time, and I think a lot of people don't understand that, so I think that's amazing that you kind of shed light on that. Yeah. Also, your best friends sound amazing.
They are. I love them. I love them.
Shout out to Rockie's best friends.
Yeah. Shout out to them. But also a lot of those medications do have side effects if you don't take them at the right timing. Yeah. And I actually have had a couple days where it's I just woke up too late and didn't take it in time, and I felt miserable.
Yeah. It's like a cocktail. You have to do it right.
Yeah.
You can't just, and I think a lot of people think oh, she's crazy, she just hasn't had her pills in a couple weeks. Do you know all of what probably went into that episode? She probably hasn't been sleeping, she hasn't been taking them, on top of alcohol or other things stressing her out. It's a mix.
Yeah, because it's literally withdrawal symptoms, and it feels like you're dying. It's the worst thing ever.
So it's not it's easy. It's just take your pills every couple of days. You have to time this out. It's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also don't like that kind of stigma it may be, or sometimes to speak of, oh, you're sad, take a pill. Or you feel this way, take a pill.
Take a pill, right.
This whatever. Okay, you haven't even talked to me yet. You haven't even really asked me how I'm doing, and you're just
trying to see what the problem is.
Right, you're just automatically just take a pill. And I think that's something that growing up for me, I had an issue with, because that's just all you saw was oh, I feel this way, so I took a pill. And then to be honest, that kind of led to me doing pills. You know, when I was in high school, because I was well, they said this would help. Now my friends doing it recreationally, so fuck it.
There's a lot of corruption in schools, because if you're a problem child, you have ADHD.
Oh yeah.
We need to pump you with something. That's not always the case. Sometimes some kids are just active. Some kids are just.
Also,
sometimes kids are just kids.
Sometimes Jimmy feels like he wants to be at table today. Give him 2 weeks, he's gonna be a race car next week.
And also,
just go throw a tablecloth on him, we'll be fine.
Pretend he's not there, girl.
And sometimes, I just have issues reading, or I have just issues focusing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I need a pill. It just means I may need more attention than the other kids. And that was something with me. I had a lot of learning disabilities, when I was in school. Yeah. And so, because of that, everybody was oh, they told my mom he needs to be on Ritalin. He needs to be on, he needs to be on these kind of drugs.
Also focus.
And it's my mom was no. Yeah. We'll just try to,
But a lot of parents don't know. Now, a lot of parents who are doing it by themselves, they're oh no, the school has tests. Like, they must know for sure.
But
it's not always.
But I will also say, though, sometimes, like, I feel that I may have missed some things,
right?
Because I was not on. There may have been some imbalances where the pills may have helped, or like seeing somebody like higher up than just a fucking teacher, may have been better,
right?
Know,
like actual therapy.
Yeah, you know, and actually like figuring out if I needed to do that and get an actual plan versus just like, okay, this is what my teacher told me.
It's so weird.
It's also like in the times that we grew up in, you know, like my parents, my dad always talks about how, you know, like when he was growing up, nobody talked about mental health. It wasn't like an issue, particularly like in Hispanic families, because Hispanic families, it's the man always has to be the man of the house. It's about a machismo sort of feeling. And so all the time, my dad being the oldest son was always kind of like strong for everybody else. Yeah, exactly. And he still is, you know, for the rest of the family.
Does he still struggle with like talking about it with you?
No, he opens up a lot more. I think like having to deal with it with his own kids has kind of opened him up to it a lot more. So if he does like has anything to talk to, he talks to my mom or he talks to me about something.
Good. I think that's a really great thing now is like being an adult, you know, quote unquote, is that we're able to actually talk to our parents about this kind of stuff in a different way.
Yeah. You have to listen now.
Exactly.
I'm not 7.
Right. You know, like I'm actually able to talk about my depression with my mom and like go through her depression as well. You know, I found out that my mom was also depressed and, you know, was going through stuff. Literally at the same time as I was feeling weird, she was also, you know, having these, you know, depression and you know, going through her own thing. You know, she's more open about it now, obviously. So that's like, I'm okay to talk about it. But like, I think it's something that as a kid, you know, you don't really understand your own feelings. Yeah. And so you don't really question your parents.
Right. Because that's who you're learning from.
Right. You know, so it's like, oh, well, she's a rock always. So fuck it. Like,
so you know, I'll do the same thing.
Right. You know?
Crazy. Because she probably was just.
She was like,
going through even more because she probably felt responsible. Like, I passed this on.
Well, you know, and like that's something that no parent wants. You know, they don't want you to. They don't want you to get the bad of their side.
Of their side.
You know, and it's natural. Like it's just gonna happen. You know, I'm gonna get the good and bad of everybody. You know, but it's also like refreshing to know that. Oh, so you go through the same shit that I do.
Yes, yeah.
You know, like one, you know, right? It's like one, you're just like, all right, cool, I'm not special. Like, you know, not in like a bad way, but just like what I'm going through isn't irregular. You know,
it makes you feel more open to talk to those people.
Right,
you know, about the issue.
I'm not afraid to come to you and be like, hey, mom, I'm fucking sad.
Yeah.
You know, like, like
that's why, like at work, like there's certain people like you and Adriana, like that. I come and I talk to you guys, like if I'm having any sort of issues. Yeah. Because you know that you could connect to that person on a certain level.
And then I gotta look at you like you have 7 heads. Like, what? Why?
Yeah, or judge you for it. You know.
Or give you that. Well, why don't you just do this?
Yeah.
That's not like I came to you. I didn't come for your advice for my issue.
Yeah, I just came to just talk about it.
Right.
That's
So with that being said, I did also think that the people that we're around also kind of affects everything. And the people that we're around also kind of influences the music that we listen to.
Right.
And so I think that kind of also has something to do with mental health.
Like, for sure.
You know, like the type of music that you listen to at a certain time.
Yes,
And what gets like thrown at you or what's on the radio all the time. It affects you. So well, I guess my one question would be, what kind of music do you listen to like help you with your mood, and what kind of music would you say stay away from if you're not?
So top 5 songs for all the 5 emotions. So like, what's your happy song? What's your sad song? Angry song?
Oof.
Disgust song?
Oh, there's so many.
Right?
Like, how do I just like find?
You can look on your playlist if you want.
My number one,
the
one I used to always go to when I was angry was what is it? I Hate You. I Hate Everything About You by 3 Days Grace. That was
I think that was like a big anthem for like teenage years.
All the teenage angst. That was the anthem of teenage angst.
I think for my like angry times, it was a lot of like Slipknot. and like metal.
Yo, heavy metal was my like. I didn't really like rock when I was like growing up. But, like when I was mad, yo, give me the strings, bro. Like, I need the dirtiest guitar that I can hear right now.
I just need something loud and like incomprehensible.
Yep.
What is it saying? It
doesn't matter.
It makes me feel good.
I think as far as like happy, I actually like listening to the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack from the video game though.
Okay.
So
like I can respect that.
So it's like a completely like 8-bit album that's like super cutesy and sounds like you're in a video game, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So it's like something like that like makes me super happy. So if I feel like I need to like have that pick me up, I just play that music.
I respect that.
There's literally a song on there that's like shop theme. And I've literally gone to the store with that on repeat. So then I feel like I'm in an actual...
Rock your headphones, just moving around.
Just
having a great time. Just, like, swirling around people. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Just like riding in the cart, just like pushing myself. It's like a montage.
And then she's done.
There's like a whole like Broadway dance number and like finishes heavy breathing. People just like,
outside the store with the cart.
I've actually like tap danced into the living room before, and my dad goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I should have been in a musical." He's like, "Your whole life is a musical," and I was like,
"Moment right there."
Yes,
that was my musical moment right
yes,
there.
it is.
Thank you. What's yours? What's your happy music?
What would be happy?
Anything Beyonce plays.
Yeah.
Okay. I can respect that.
Well, no, because "Don't Hurt Yourself" is probably my angry song, and she like
so she has some angry music.
Yeah. She cursed on that song. That's the first time I actually heard her like.
I've never heard her curse before.
Well, she said the real like F word like 3 times, and the very first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh my god, Beyonce just cursed."
Beyonce.
She like,
what dimension are we in?
She was just like, "Who the fuck do you think I am?" And I was
like emphasis on the F word.
She was like, I think she was in the studio like mad, and I was just like,
"Who the fuck do you think I am?"
And then I was just like, "Wait, who made Beyonce
I don't know.
Like,
was this like during her Lemonade time?
It was Lemonade.
It was Lemonade, right?
I really feel like she got mad at him.
Lemonade was a different Beyonce.
I loved Lemonade. I used to watch it on repeat when it came up on cable, and I was like, yeah.
Which is I think it's such an interesting. Obviously, I love her, but I think the way she chose to
vent her feelings.
That is so interesting to me because she literally went through all 5
stages
of her like being like, damn, I feel like I'm nothing.
Yeah.
To like, I'm mad.
Yes.
I am kicking stuff over to it's just like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I don't know where
I still love you, but
and then I'm over it sort of
she
feeling.
She humanized herself that way, and I stood. Like, I was like, oh my god, Beyonce cries too.
I think that was one thing, because I'm going to be honest, I was never, like, I liked Beyonce songs, but I never really, like, was into Beyonce. I never like looked up Beyonce.
Yes, because you didn't know her.
I didn't know Beyonce, and I never got a chance to really know her, like feel for her. Obviously, you had your day one fans who like stood no matter what.
Yeah.
But like, I always respected her. I always respected her artistry in that way. But like that definitely was just like,
I feel like
I'm Beyonce. I'm fucking hurt.
Yes.
And the courage it took. Like
yeah.
It's one thing to like go through like those emotions just by yourself, but like she was just like, I'm going through this, but also like, here, world.
Yeah,
here's my ugly part.
That's something that I was talking about, like where like sometimes you just gotta get those feelings out, whatever you have to.
Yeah.
She was pissed.
She was mad.
The only,
she was so mad.
Only way she could get that out.
To the point where she took off her ring. Like, I dissected it, but she like actually took her ring off, and like there's a glimpse in like the video.
That's what you should do your thesis on,
dude. Listen, Rockie. Don't do this. But like, there's sometimes where you can like tell when people are acting, and then there's just like, you're really mad. Like I saw in her face that like she was broken.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, like I see you, Beyonce.
And like broken to the point where she was willing to write this down, record this, like put this shit, orchestrate this shit together, do a music video,
like multiple music videos.
That's what I mean by there's a proper way to be mad. She
did a whole art show out of
it.
Like,
okay, if you ever were confused on how to deal with your emotions, Beyonce's Lemonade is the prime example.
Like
the level of
Lemonade,
bro. Just
where
Lemonade.
she
do Lemonade.
Like,